Hello, my name is Geogen and welcome back to Armored Warfare. Today we are in the C1 Ariete, or as you can just see, the Ariete, simpler. And boy, is this such a great game. Well, for me anyway. I don't know if any of you have played the Ariete, but if you watch all of this video, you will be of the same opinion of me, that it is very, very strong indeed. And now I'm going to admit straight off the bat that this is very, very favourable matchmaking for me. 2 tier 8s on each team, bunch of tier 7s and a bunch of tier 6s. Couldn't have asked for better matchmaking, no tier 9s in sight. And this gun platform, this main battle tank, Italian main battle tank, is very, very strong indeed. Especially with those nice applique armor packages on the side of the hull and turret at the front. The vehicle is quite fast, as you can see. It's got good mobility. It's not as slow as a Challenger 1, which is the tank preceding it. The tank following this is the Challenger 2, so you do go back to that slow, heavily armoured tank in comparison to the Ariete. But anyway, the Ariete's main strengths include the phenomenally good gun. It's a 120mm with, in its fully upgraded ammunition, 594 on average penetration. With the AP rounds, you also get to fire heat, which is a luxury for Challenger 1 drivers. Well, since playing the Challenger 1 anyway. The frontal hull in this matchup is pretty much impervious to what they can fire at me. High explosive, of course, is going to do damage like that Palmaria artillery. They can also pen the drivers, not the drivers, the commanders' cupolas. I tried to get the fuel tank ignited there. Sometimes when the enemy tank is too well side-scoped, like that Challenger 1, you can hit the fuel tank and set them on fire. Even if you don't actually penetrate the shell. The shell, you can still do some good damage, especially if they don't have a fire extinguisher. Nice bit of accuracy there, bit of a low roll, but oh well. 500 damage almost is not to be trifled with, especially with a 7-second reload. I must admit this vehicle does not have any retrofits on it, so the rate of fire can be improved if I did have the retrofits. But if you have got tier 8/tier 9 in Armored Warfare, you will realise that the retrofits cost a huge amount of credits, and I have other things to purchase at the moment, including a bunch of tier 6s. I've loaded HE for the Challenger because he's on very low health. However, shooting directly at the front of the turret near the gun is not going to do me any good. He gets taken out, however, with the allies' shot. T-72A, not really a good tank at all for its tier. And we shut him down pretty quickly. Hit that guy in the cupola, but we don't penetrate, we only do 170 odd damage. Get around his side, keep him distracted. He's made the age-old mistake, turning his hull to multiple opponents on his side. And I do that from, well, not from time to time, I do that regularly, I don't know about you. And yes, we also have someone in the Centauro 120 who can't really get over the fact that he went off by himself on a flank, which I will admit it was undefended. Just a nice interruption there from the Leopard 2's rear. Leopards have very poor side armor and rear armor, and there is what I'm on about with the penetration, well, the non-penetration, but still setting the guy on fire. Did a nice amount of burning damage and then put one into his back to make sure he went down. Anyway, that Centauro 120, he's, he went off on the flank by himself, and now he's moaning because, he died. What can you say, really? Now, the situation at the moment doesn't really look too grand. There are 10 enemy vehicles and 10 of us, but the base is swarming with them at the moment, including their Leopard 2A5, a vehicle I don't own yet, but a vehicle I do want to play, because Leopards, the 2A5 and 2A6, are very, very strong from the front. I tried penning his upper armor on the roof, but the angle would dictate a non-penetration. B1 Centauro, he hasn't got any armor against this gun, 594 pen with the AP rounds. I could have loaded heat, but I was loading AP for other targets. And we still do a good amount of damage anyway, even though it was an overmatch. Probably should have been less damage considering it just went through one end and out the other. But oh well, damage is damage. I'm not really going to complain, am I? Base, however, gotta get involved, people. Otherwise, it's over for us. Another Centauro, or it may be the same one. Lovely critical damage there. The engine is located in the front of that vehicle. Probably damaged his engine. Well, it didn't say we did. Rear of the tank without the applique is not good against enemy shells. We get penetrated. However, we're still nailing the damage. We did get our gun damaged, so we prepared the gun for better accuracy and better aim time. Fortunately, the angle on the Challenger 1's turret there was not quite good enough for a penetrating shell. Leopard's side armor, however, on all Leopards is very bad, including this Leopard, to a 5. And just turn fully, thank you. Nice 500 damage there. Can we get another one in? Nope, we can't, but there is a Challenger here with his turret pointing at a better angle now. 500 damage in the side. This gun keeps on singing and it keeps on emitting damage. Enemy down. Added to the collection of 6 kills now. Looking for a shot on that Centauro. Bit slow there, and he pulls back into cover. Things have happened very quickly there, but with the good mobility and the good frontal armor, I think this is probably my favourite tier 8 at the moment. I do like the T90, but the T90 has its lower plate as a huge weakness compared to the Ariettes. Not saying the T90 is a weak vehicle, certainly not. It has a very good gun, but it has a very long aim time in comparison. And yeah, the side armor is still pretty bad on the T90, but it is better than that of the Ariete, if you take it from the back anyway. Now there are 3 enemies remaining, a Paladin, a BMD4, and the Palmaria. Both of those artillery have given me a bit of trouble recently, but we still have enough hit points to do the job. About 2/3. Powering up this hill. It's not a slow tank, as I keep saying, and that is something refreshing coming from the Challenger series. Although I do like the Challenger. Now, to be balanced, the vehicle in tier 9 matches is not brilliant. It does struggle a bit against tier 9s, like the Challenger 2 and the T90 MS. In hindsight, I should have just kept an AP round in the chamber, or in the breach, because I aim at centre of mass and I hit his gun, and the heat shell does nothing. We reload another heat shell, however, and he goes down. He probably would have gone down to the first shot if it didn't go into the turret. Now it's just the Palmara, and yep, I just tracked myself. Our tracks had been damaged relentlessly throughout the game by artillery. As you can see, we're taking 2,000 damage all around, but we dealt over 8,000, so I'm pretty happy with that result. Such a lovely tank to play, and when it's fully upgraded, I will enjoy it even more. Palmaria's popped out. Dug down. 8 kills secured, almost 9,000 damage. My best game to date in Armoured Warfare. Well, what a result screen to look at. 54,000 reputation, 515,000 credits. Sentinel, Ace Tanker, Gold Medal, Recon, Master Gunner. Phenomenal amount of reward for that game, but it was a ×5 event, as you can see of those vehicles at the bottom there. Nice old ×5 event going on. Huge amount of damage. That Palmaria, I've got to say, he did a very good job on this team, doing over 4,000 of his own damage in a tier 8 game, in a tier 6 machine. But anyway, the Ariete, a very, very nice machine indeed, and if you are grinding towards one, if you're in the Challenger, if you're in... what came before the Challenger? I've forgotten, was it the T70? Was it the T72? I think it was. But basically, when you get to the Ariete, it is a very nice tank to play indeed, in these top tier matchups. Tier 9 matchups, you've got to be a bit more careful, but you can still rack the damage up. Anyhow, if you enjoyed this video of the Ariete, please be sure to leave it a like down below. And as always, I've been Geogen, this has been Armored Warfare, and I'll see you chaps and chapettes in the next one.